everyone, and welcome to Coastal with Kathryn. This show is actually very near and dear to my heart. This is about a community coming together to support an important cause, and that's hospice care. Wexford is actually hosting this event tonight to support this fundraiser for the hospice care of the Lowcountry. And we'll have a moment to sit down and talk to the people of the organization, understand their services and what they provide to families, and also this event is actually called the Yacht Hop. And what is that? Well, over there we have lots of beautiful yachts that have come into the marina here in Wexford, and people are going to have a chance to go on, take a look, and they offer some bites, some delicious food, and a little tastings as well. I understand there's some bourbon, whiskey, and a great Mai Tai. So let's go inside and check it out. I'm so excited to introduce you to Janet Porter, who is the chairman of the board for the hospice care of Lowcountry. Lovely to see you.
Thank you. It's lovely to be here.
And we have a beautiful backdrop, as we can see.
And great weather. Great weather.
And people are showing up. They're coming in. It's so exciting, and the buzz is beginning. But before we go out and enjoy the festivities, you know, Janet has a wealth of knowledge about hospice care, and also I want to understand, how did you get involved with this?
Well, actually, I took courses on death and dying when I was 19 years old at Ohio State University at the Newman Center. And my girlfriends thought I was depressed, thought something was wrong. But I've always been interested, I realized, in dignity, and dignity for those who are the most vulnerable. And when are people most vulnerable? When they're dying. And so this has been a lifelong interest of mine. I'm a hospital administrator, and I've had responsibility for hospices at several hospitals.
So, you know, along with the hospice care, I think there's another initiative that's happening, correct?
There is. You know, our hospice program is so complete in terms of offering. We honor veterans program. We have a hospice program where pets visit those who are at end of life. We have over 100 volunteers, so we have a really complete hospice program. But what we're really excited about is we're really developing our palliative care program, and that's for patients who have not been diagnosed with less than 6 months to live, but have chronic conditions where they need a lot of help with symptom management. And their need is very great on the island, so we're hoping to really meet the needs of those patients and their families.
You know, that's really important to understand because, you know, number one is that everybody's living longer. Our lifespan is longer. Our bodies start to break down at certain times, and yet we're not, you know, we're not in that fatal part in our health decline. But there's a whole stage there that needs help, and just to have the services available to help navigate that person during that time, I think, is extraordinary.
Yes, and you know, I know you're dealing with that with your own 90-year-old mom, almost 90-year-old mom, and so many of your listeners probably have someone, a cousin, a husband, who needs more help, and they really want to. What we know is people want to age in place. People want to stay home, and palliative care really helps people do that.
You know, when we think about that also, it's not only just, is it physical problems like disabilities, or is it mental? I mean, what kind of patients or conditions are we thinking of that can be part of that program?
Well, it could be anything from a 46-year-old who has, you know, severe rheumatoid arthritis and needs a lot of help with or someone who has severe colitis or other digestive issues at any age. So it can be anybody at any age who really has a lot of complications. You know, specialists are taught to treat the illness and make the illness better, but not necessarily symptom management. And palliative care people are really experts in symptom management.
I want to thank you for stopping by. I mean, what a wealth of knowledge, and you know, I'm just delighted that the hospice care of the Lowcountry is here for our community.
Yes. Well, thank you for having me.
Well, I'm so delighted to introduce you to Jenny Bresington, who's the executive director. Very nice to meet you.
Thank you, Kathryn. Thank you for having me on your show.
Well, thank you. You look very pretty in your white, very beautiful. You know, it's a very, you know, for a very important program that we have for our family life and our life. This is a nice festive occasion too. So before we go into the festivities, let's talk about hospice, because it is something that touches all of our lives at some point in time.
Mm-hmm. It does. Hospice care is for someone who's facing the end of their life, someone that has a terminal illness and is at the last days, weeks, or months of their life. And hospice is not just about the patient, but very much about the family, the caregivers, and what's going on during this time.
Yeah, and one thing you did share with me before we went on camera was, hospice care, it doesn't mean it's the last 3 days.
Correct.
And that's what we all think about that.
Right.
It's fitting.
Right.
But it's the, how do you say, the adjusting of when you sort of know.
Right.
And you can work with the patient and their family for months at a time, correct?
Absolutely. Our goal is to have someone on at 6 months. Of course, we don't have that crystal ball and we don't know, but there's so much that we can do and get in place and help these families. One of our stigmas is it's 3 days and then someone passes, so it's always that scary type of thing. But if we bring someone on, we can get so many services in place. We can get medications, equipment, supplies, help with family dynamics, and sometimes financial things, and get those end-of-life documents in place, and we can assist these families on this journey.
Wow. And the volunteers, though, they really do make
Yes.
a difference in this program. So tell us about that.
Oh my gosh. Right now we have over 110 volunteers. Our organization started as a volunteer organization. We were volunteers of the Lowcountry when we started out 40 years ago.
Wow.
We're 40 years old this year, so we're really very proud of that. And our volunteers do a number of things, not only patient bedside, but they work in our office, they help with our marketing, they help with our bereavement programs, and many of our volunteers are here tonight helping with this event.
And in the last 16 years, you've had Yacht Hop events,
We have.
right? It's one of the primary fundraisers that you
Correct,
have
correct.
that's to help facilitate the programs that you offer.
Absolutely.
Families. Tell us about the history about Yacht Hop. How did that even come about?
Well, Yacht Hop started, oh my gosh, I think the first one was 2005. I could be incorrect on that, but it was here at Wexford. And then it was moved to Harbor Town in Sea Pines. We've skipped a few years because of hurricanes and COVID,
Right.
couple different things, but we're back here at Wexford. So, it just shows you everything goes full circle. So we're back here with this amazing, generous Wexford community and many, many other community members and supporters, sponsors, and we're thrilled to be back here.
And so I'm so happy to introduce you to James Dismond, who's the Director of Development for the Hospice Care. Nice to see you here. What a great evening we have coming up ahead of us. And I know there's a lot people are talking. We've talked about health, we've talked about the programs, we've talked about the service, but let's talk about the event.
Yes.
And I want to hear I understand people are carrying numbers, and what does that all mean?
Yeah, so everyone's assigned a paddle, and so what we'll do is we'll do a live auction at the beginning of the program, and we have items ranging from a 14-person VIP experience at a 15,000 square foot estate in Kentucky that comes with a custom bourbon experience, all the way to a 10-person Tuscany experience as an international trip.
All right, well, we can travel. I think this is exciting. What's in between? Give me a couple of in betweens.
So we have an adventure package that's local. So it's a trip to Greenville, South Carolina to do a craft brewery tour of the city that's private. And then we have a BMW excursion private on the racetrack. And then we have the Walsh family donated their family yacht for a private 6-hour catered tour of Hilton Head, and we call it the Land, Sea, and Cocktails package.
I love that idea. I mean, and that's actually, I don't know if anybody is not going around the island on a boat, it really is a very lovely trip to do, and you get to see all the different things that you only get to see by going over the bridges, correct?
So gorgeous.
So tonight we're having a sold out crowd.
Sold out.
And we have restaurants, we have yacht owners, we have even yachts been brought from us from where else? Where do they all travel from?
So we have yachts from South Florida. We have some international yachts that have come from like Barbados and places, but MarineMax has their entire fleet here. So we have 5 boats that are ready for purchase that can be driven out today.
Well, what do you think about that? I don't know. What color hull do I like? Do I like the blue hull, the white hull?
I'd go for the all white. Let's stay on brand.
Oh, but then we need the gold, though.
Yes.
So anything else you want to share with us? Because what a great evening. I mean, the hospice care program here is stellar. I've had the opportunity to meet Dr. Bob and Janet and all the others that are just amazing here. And as you are first year, second year with the hospice program?
2 years in, first year with Yacht Hop.
All right. So you've done a great job, and thank you for including us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I'm delighted to introduce you to Nancy and Joe Walsh, who are part of this hospice event in many ways. Number one, we're sitting on your beautiful yacht, as we see, and we're in the what do you call this section?
Salon.
The salon, and over behind us they're serving food to all the guests that are coming here. So it's a wonderful experience. And two things. One is that you have also donated a prize to the auction for raising money. And tell us about this prize. I think I'd love it.
We donated a 4 or 5 hour cruise, dinner, lunch for 6 people.
And if you haven't had a chance to, take a boat ride around the island, it really is an extraordinary gift to have. I mean, to see the island from the water side, we always see it over the bridges, correctly?
Exactly.
But you get this the feeling and the beauty of this boat. I mean, what kind of a boat do we have?
It's a Prestige, which is a French-built boat, so it's quite unique and quite the lines of the European-style boat.
It is a sleek boat.
Yeah.
Is it like a high performance? Is it fast?
It's just a nice cruiser. Very roomy inside. That's what we liked about it, was the room that it had inside. And, we can seat, 6 people. We can easily.
6.
And then we have also a crew cabin in the back if we want to have a captain on board, a place for him to sleep.
That's a nice idea, too. Well thought out. I think we can go all kinds of places with this beautiful
Yes, we
yacht.
can.
Oh, my God. Well, thank you so much for donating that. But as I sit here with Nancy and Joe, we're talking about hospice, and you do have a personal story, and I think I would love to have share your story with us, because I think some people know it like I do and you do, but if they don't understand it, tell us how your story happened.
So my generation, I think hospice meant cancer, and it's not just cancer, it's end of life. And I learned that from a social worker when my father was passing.
I know. Yeah, and it is an end of life, and what I have learned through the hospice, through mine too, it helps us, our family members, such as like you and I, and it helps us, I don't know, how to take away the stress. I mean, there's so much stress that goes with it, regardless of the emotional part.
But the emotional part was so much easier for me to help them.
Yeah.
Because I had that support. And a simple phone call, I mean, it was just like nothing I ever expected. So then, when my mother was nearing her end of life, first thing I did, and it was a great thing.
Oh my God, I feel you too. I'm thinking about that time too. As you can tell, it's a very personal, very emotional time, and it was very sad to see our loved ones pass.
Right.
But with the hospice care, from my perspective, and I haven't shared any about that, but it helped us understand the process, and we didn't understand how the patient was behaving at the moment in time.
Yeah.
What was going on at a certain time, and they would give us some insight, saying this is, it's okay, rather than getting to this total panic mode.
And to help them, as hard as it was for us, it was easier for us to help them, which was a gift.
It is a gift,
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for sharing your story, and thank you for such a big support of hospice care. It means a lot to me,
pleasure.
and everybody out there, think about hospice and think about supporting your programs.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. Lovely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, we're still on the Walsh's yacht, and we still want to have this experience. And this is the chef, Doug.
From Roy's Cafe and Catering.
From Roy's Cafe and Catering, and nice to meet you. So part of the experience that they're having here is you visit the yacht, and you have a chance to taste delicious food, which comes to you. And there's also another tasting, which we'll go to. We'll see Becky. So today you prepared what?
Today we prepared a lobster salad in phyllo cups. So it's a really very simple recipe. It's just lobster tail, celery, and a little bit of mayonnaise to bind it together, and we pipe it into a pastry phyllo cup, and the guests can come up and have it and sample it.
Sometimes a simple taste, everybody loves that too.
Yes, they do.
Well, are you enjoying yourself?
So far, it's a little warm out here, but it's a great time. It's a great benefit here for hospice, and it's about 500 people going to be showing up today. It's going to be awesome.
It is awesome.
Yes.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
And to complete our experience on the Walsh's yacht, we have Becky Jennings, who is with the product here, and this is Jack Daniel's latest creation, right?
Latest creation released last week. It's Jack Daniel's Triple Mash. Very smooth. Very, very smooth. Would you like a taste?
Well, I have a question. So
Sure.
when you do sip this, I'm a little bit concerned that I'm a newbie at this. So how do you go about it? Is there some?
To me, there's no easy way. You just knock it back, basically.
You
is
knock
how-
it back.
I would
Not
knock
you
it back.
Sip? Well, I'm gonna do a sip because if I knock it back, I may not be able to speak for the next 5 hours. So.
There you go.
They're laughing over there.
Sip if you want to sip.
My goodness.
Very smooth.
It is smooth.
Very smooth.
Well, thank you for letting
You're
me have one of
welcome.
this.
And Breakthrough Beverages is who provided this for us today. So
Very good. So think about your new JD that's right here.
right here on the island, it's available at the bar, guys.
Oh, and we have more yachts to visit.
Wonderful. Thank you. So nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Well, we're continuing our yacht hop, and did you know that on our website we have a travel shop? So we are featuring this bag. It's called a Portofino wine bag, and it's wonderful for beach and boating, and we're on this beautiful yacht as we speak, and we are ready to go. All you need to do is open up your spout, have a glass of wine. So this is the Portofino wine, and if you're interested in buying it, go to our travel shop on our website, Coastal with Kathryn. Well, as we enjoy our time on the boat, we have my friend Kathy wearing a Walloop hat that we love so much. It's very stylish, but what I love about it, check the top here. It's mesh, so even on a hot day, it's nice and cool. And it has the wonderful wide brim that we love so much. And you can find this at our travel shop too on Coastal with Kathryn. Thanks, Kathy.
So I'm delighted to be sitting with these beautiful ladies, Cindy and Lindsey, who are the co-chairs for the Wexford part of the committee for this event. You know, the hospice care program is wonderful for the island, but it doesn't happen without having a venue. And Wexford has been a very big supporter of the hospice care. And Cindy, I know that you've been on a chair there or on the board for a couple of years for the hospice. And then with Lindsey, I also understand you work in cancer programs. So let's take a moment and talk about how did it come back to Wexford?
Sure, I'll take that one. So being on the board, we decided to change up the yacht hop. We haven't been able to have it for 2 years because of COVID. So when James came to me and I said, yes, I would, speak to Wexford. The yacht hop actually started in Wexford 12 years ago. So I was so happy to be able to bring the yacht hop back to Wexford. And in doing that, James and I came up with this whole idea, theme, and then I got my my first mate involved, Lindsey Reaney. Not only are we neighbors, but we're good friends. And I said, hey, would you like to help me with this? And it was a natural fit. Wexford said yes, and Lindsey said yes. And so the three of us got to work, and here we are today.
Wow.
Cindy made a fabulous connection. I work at the Beaufort Memorial Kaiserling Cancer Center and New River Cancer Centers. And so obviously oncology services and hospice unfortunately overlap some. So when they asked me if I'd be a part of it, it was an easy yes.
Well, terrific. Well, I'm very excited for the evening to begin. And thank you for stopping by with me.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So with the hospice program, they also have a medical director who I want to introduce you to, Dr. Bob Roulard, and they call you Dr. Bob, I understand, affectionately.
They do, yes.
Delightful for sitting with me because, the hospice care, there's so many people that are part of it. But as being the medical director, you oversee the patient care and all the things, the details of how to make that patient comfortable.
Yes. And the nurses and I work as a team. And actually, hospice was started by nurses.
Was it?
Yes. It's only recently that physicians were added to the program as a requirement of Medicare. And so I try to remember that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a guest in the program. And so I take care of the narcotics and approve all the treatment plans and make suggestions when needed. But it's really a nursing thing. So they're the ones that are the heart and soul of hospice.
Well, I think it's one big heart with a lot of people that all kind of pump it. That's my vision of it.
Well, my vision is it's like the old-fashioned wagon wheel.
Ah.
You have the rim, and for the rim to go smoothly over the road, it needs spokes. And each spoke has to be just as strong as the next one, or the wheel gets out of kilter. So I'm one of the spokes, the nurses are a spoke, the social workers, the chaplain, the pet therapy, the music therapy, and the administrative staff are all part of this wheel.
Yes.
And the hub of the wheel, of course, is the patient.
Right.
And what makes the hub from squeaking? Love.
What is it?
Love.
Love. That's a good way of putting it. That is true. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna cry. All right. I see your passion and I can feel it, and I know we're very grateful for you to be part of the program, and thank you for joining me.
Well, you're welcome. Have a good afternoon.
Well, as we continue our yacht hopping, we cannot not stop by and say hi to the Bullocks. So we have Cindy and Jason, and we are on, what's your boat's name?
Silver Dolphin.
Silver Dolphin. I love that name because we have a silver hull.
That's right.
See, I know a little bit about this, but what a beautiful yacht you have here.
Thank you.
Magnificent.
Thank you.
What kind of a boat is this? Because for the people who like to know about boats.
It is a Princess V57, so it's a nice sport yacht made by a British builder.
And is it unique? I mean, I have not seen a boat like this.
There are no other princesses in the Lowcountry, and it is more of a kind of Miami, big layout pad in the back, anchoring in the hull over area, kind of that kind of boat that we like to bring to the Lowcountry.
Well, I can understand why. It has a great appeal, the space, and it's beautiful.
Thank you. We love it.
You do love it. So, before we got on camera, we were talking to Cindy a little bit about hospice, and then you are big supporters. Number one, you're big supporters of the community, part one. Part two, with the hospice program, I'm finding such a lovely, endearing support from community, Wexford and everybody else. So, do you have a little bit of a hospice story that you can share with us?
We do. Our good friend Cindy Creamer is the chairman of the Yacht Hop this year, and she approached us and we eagerly said we will be happy to help. My father passed away 11 years ago, and hospice was there. It is an emotional thing going through the process, and to have somebody that can kind of teach you and let you know what to expect. It was invaluable for us because we had other situations when his mother passed away. It was very sudden, and when you have a process and you need to understand what's going on, hospice is there, and so that's why we're here today.
Great thing to support.
Exactly, and in all the conversations that we've talked about, we've talked about the services, but it's the process, and that's what we need. We need help with the process, and that's what hospice is invaluable. All right, well, thank you so much.
Glad to be a part of it.
Thanks
for stopping by.
Absolutely. Well, as we continue the fun and continue to yacht hop, I want to introduce you to Diane and Whitney, who are with the Hilton Head Distillery. And Whitney, you are the master blender.
Master distiller.
Master distiller. And Diane, you are the hostess with the mostest.
I am, and a tour guide as well.
And a tour guide. So with that all being said, tell us, what is you're mastering here for us? What's our drink?
This is a Mai Tai. Here you are. It's made with our dark pineapple rum, our Solera aged rum, our house-made orgeat and orange curacao, the little float of house-made grenadine.
This is really good.
I'm glad you like it.
When you come to the island, I'm not kidding, when you come to Hilton Head Island, or the locals here, come by and ask for this specific drink because it is the best drink I've had in a long time.
Best Mai Tai on the island, for sure.
It really is the best Mai Tai on the island. Well, thank you for inviting me aboard.
You're very welcome.
This is really good.
Definitely come by the distillery.
Yes, come by the distillery.
Well, when we're talking about yachts, I have to introduce you to Jim Lyons, who brought 7 yachts with him today, and they're all here in the docks. What do you think about that?
It's a terrific opportunity, frankly, a time to reach a lot of different people. It's a great gathering. We've got a lot of opportunity to introduce people to different brands, so we're excited to be here.
Well, I have to tell you, because look, all right, let's start with the nitty-gritty. What defines a yacht?
So a yacht typically is going to start in the 35-foot class, A lot of people see yachts in different ways, whether they can overnight on them. We're seeing a large advent of the day yacht, which is pretty interesting. They come with summer kitchens and day heads, so really different classes these days.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Well, as you joined and brought these boats up, let's talk about the hospice.
Thank you for saying that. Absolutely. It's a great cause. I think Hospice in the Lowcountry has shown us just how committed that they are to this community. the patrons that we see here, the patrons we saw last night at the captain's meeting, really truly showed me that it's a community effort, and we look forward to supporting it for many years. The marketplace is very, very giving, and I think a lot of the folks move here to spend the last days of their lives, so they understand the importance of a community effort where hospice is concerned. So,
Well, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Well, it's been joyful to meet you.
Pleasure was mine. Thank you for coming, and thank you for doing this.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
What a beautiful evening and an important event to support hospice care of the Lowcountry. Thanks to the sponsors and Wexford, thanks for hosting the event, your wonderful hospitality. And I want to thank you for joining us. This is Coastal with Kathryn. I'll see you next time.